Hello and welcome back to another webinar series of Success. In this video, we are going to discuss about a company called Toyota. So from the name itself, we can see that the company is working closely towards artificial intelligence. In fact, they are leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning to provide business intelligence for enterprise and more. To know more about the company and these solutions, we have the CEO and founder of the company, Mr. Shivansh. So let's hear from him. Hello, Shivansh. How are you doing?
I'm good, Ashwin. How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing with the pandemic over here?
Well, personally speaking, it's very disturbing, but speaking from the business perspective, like things are moving on to automation because of lack of human resource and due to the, non-availability of labor works. So I guess AI and robotics, IoT domains are at boom right now, and I guess this is the right time to tap the opportunity if any budding entrepreneur is planning to do so. So pandemic, like our president, honorable prime minister, declared Aapda mein Avsar. So not really, we don't find opportunity there, but yes, if we make some penny out of that, I guess that is justifiable. But most of us should try to give back to the community at this my point of time, according to my perspective.
So, Shivansh, can you tell us about the type of solutions and products that are offered by Toyota? What kind of problems does the company want to solve?
So, as you were giving the naming convention, explaining the naming convention, I would add to it. So, it's IoTs, AI as in artificial intelligence, and then it is IoT, Internet of Things. Then it's A to Z. If we, that arrow which goes from A to Z. So, just like Amazon. So, and eyes in the end is a verb. So basically, we are applying IoT, AI, and these smart technology, deep technologies, and in making your life, simpler. So our solutions are currently we are dealing in B2B solutions. So there are three domains in which we operate right now. One is robotics, one is IoT, and third one is data science. So data science includes all the AI, machine learning, neurons, and all transfer learning concepts, GPUs and all. So in IoT, we do sensor integration. We deploy different sensors onto the production areas of our clients, or it can be any manufacturing unit, logistics, trucks, cars, vehicles, whatever you need to track. So all those sensors integration with our platform that comes as a package under IoT. In AI and data science, so basically here the adoption rate of AI is very low in India specifically. So due to the conventional mindset of the clients whom we deal with, we are able to put across a lot of automations onto our client and they're very much happy with it, but we're still exploring what else can be added, what else can we do as a value add for our clients, because that's what matters. You can get technology from any Tom, Dick and Harry, and the main task what I feel is execution and maintenance.
Can you tell me about its role and implementation? So how does this whole system work?
Correct. So this is a drone system scanning gas pipeline. These pipelines, could be very much dangerous, and a loss to like a lot of losses are borne by the oil companies due to these leakages or these cracks or bends in the pipeline. So we have made a system using our drone system, which is indigenous 100%. We have made it on our own. We have not purchased it or bought anything from the shelf. And this AI system as well is also developed by our own team. So combining these two technologies, amalgamation of these two or three technologies gives out a very good value add to the client's production area. It makes it more like safer, reliable, and costs are very much brought down. Accuracy is, when we deploy these solutions, accuracy ranges from 80 to 85%, but the time which it we feed the data to it and it grows. It's a self-evolutionary model basically. It learns from its past cases, whatever it has dealt with. So those experiences are then transferred on to taking some autonomous decisions. So this is basically crowd analysis. So if there's any public event or public gathering, or there's a mass protest like we had Kisan Andolan going on in Delhi. So these could be very beneficial for law enforcement agencies as well as private stakeholders who are organizing the event, because it can also track the body language, if the person is irritated or not, if he is about to charge at someone. It checks the body language of a particular subject and it reports back to the control station, which I'll just show you in the coming part. So we can calculate density, speed, and we can generate heat maps according to it. So that information, if we capture the data analytics, data out of it, we can organize, like tell the organizers where there is more density of the crowd, where more promotional activities can be held to promote any events, or either some sponsors could exhibit there. So that is one aspect of it. Second is security and safety. Third is monitoring and surveillance. So again, single technology can serve up to multiple purposes of a client. We always stress upon that majorly, because a single solution can do a job of 2 or 3 odd people simultaneously. So this is the railway track line. So basically what happens is, when these rail beds disintegrate due to churning and rigorous movement of trains on it, so we need to make sure that these are intact, because our clients hold private rail lines. So those are not managed by government. Those rail lines are private rail lines operated by DP World, Adani. So we are making a system for them where these tracks could be monitored and surveillance could be done to minimize the workforce involvement here, because every 2 or 3 hours some particular people have to patrol these areas and check for the cracks or dents or any abnormalities in the structure. So that's a very tedious task, and like the whole rail line which we are talking about is almost 80 kilometers long. So imagine you have a flying camera which can give you video like for 50 kilometers ahead. So that is a big novelty here. So these are basically knowledge infrastructures which can be scanned and surveyed for like if there's any issue in efficiency or all, and for checking any damages. This is basically the thing you're seeing on the screen is for pandemics and natural calamities like earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods. So we take aerial view, and these damage percentage is calculated on its own, and same is communicated to the nearby NDRF teams or relief teams, which can reach the site and they know where to focus on rather than going haphazardly. So these technologies we wish to promote as a social cause, as a social responsibility towards the community. So this is the control center which I was talking about. Here all the decisions would be made. These teams usually comprise of half of our employees and half of the client's employees, because a lot of decisions have to be taken on the go. You can't really wait for someone else. So all these teams are made in such a way that both the parties don't get affected if there is any dispute or all. So this is basically our drone like thermal analytics algorithm, where in public areas we can calculate the body temperature of any subject. So like if a person comes with temperature higher than 37 degrees Celsius, nearby health authorities or security guards would be intimated. So this is how it works. It was also one of the finalized solutions which was presented to even government of India, and but we were not able to procure funding for the POC and also that had to go. But we developed this as this is the whole concept. And apart from it, like if you talk about drone systems, what payload and all. So we manufacture our own drones. So we have our own frame. We have developed it on our own. The whole system is designed in such a way that it is not dependent on any third party. The application or the software which you are referring to. So I'll quickly show you what it looks like. This is a beta version, just for the demonstration purposes. So because we can't really share the real-time data of our clients, that is a policy. So it tells us how many containers it has scanned, and all the other business insights can be put here according to the client's requirement. And we calculate like container health for our client, because that might lead to insurance claims and all. So they need to make sure that this container was looking fine when it left. And here is where the stream comes. So we're just YouTube video for reference purpose. The video would be streamed here. We can select the model 1, 2, 3, 4. Like suppose if I want to capture number license plate of the vehicles, so I can select model 1 and just click analyze, and it starts doing that side by side. So that again is applicable for all the different 5 models. You can select among themselves. So these are the management settings. You need to give the public IP port and all. So these informations are usually given by IT department, and that's how videos come. So we have a library also, so people can refer back to the any occurrence or any particular video which they want to see, if there is any dispute regarding any particular services or all. And that's all, I guess, with the application. So this is the infrared analytics. So people have this query a lot, like how do drones operate at night? So we do have some sensors or some cameras which make it autonomous, and it can fly on ROS. So we have developed that system as well. That is called robotic operating system. It's a set of libraries and codes which you use to develop your own drone system, which is independent of any GPS coordinates or any other external dependencies. But that is again a very time-taking process. So I would suggest, if anyone is interested, to go for open source technologies, and you can easily build your tech stack onto it, and that's no difference, I guess. That is even better version. You will not be able to produce that whatever there is in the public domain or the open domain. So this is the yard supervision which we do for our clients. So the assets which our client holds are very valuable. These cranes, you would see in a moment, each crane is of 80 crores. And these trucks have to be in line with all these carriages, because if small misalignment happens, this crane would fall off and the company would be at a huge loss. So we can't really wait for that, and we provide these real-time analytics to our clients. So they can, any particular, if there is any CEO or any safety officer have to review what exactly is going on inside. You just need to push a button and it will scan the whole site and come back to its origin. So the whole flight operations which we are providing to our clients are autonomous. So client don't have to learn how to fly the drone. So here you can see, like many times people don't wear jackets, safety helmets and all. So we need to make sure, because if a human life is lost at ground, it's a very huge loss, not just financially, but emotionally and other aspects of it, because the whole family suffers. So we are helping our clients to minimize this as much as possible. And let's hope for the best. I guess this technology would be very much useful for even other industries as well.
So,
Yeah.
Shivansh, apart from this drone automation platform, AOTI also has its own AI engine called Cognixar, right? So, how does that go hand in hand with this drone automation platform? Like, does it work together, or is it a separate platform altogether?
It can work together. It can be standalone systems as well. So they're designed. So these both are our products, and we can customize it according to the client's requirement, and then how it this happen. So we are more into the bespoke solutions provider. So tailor-make solutions is our game, and IoT is again, drone automation platform which can be used for automated flights or collecting data, surveying anything, and if analytics have to be applied on it in real time.
So Shivans, for all this data collection, you have been using drones and rovers, right? So according to you, what is the best way to collect data from the field?
Uh, so, like I told you, there are a lot of business insights which are required for growth hacking or taking a business to the next level. And like simple, I'll give you an example of a milkshake chain. Just any XYZ milkshake chain. You know, they can do innovation with the taste and with the ingredients up to certain extent, but if they need to take their product to a lot larger audience, they need to have some other guerrilla tactics involved, which is only possible if they have the data. So if we know like what is the purchase history or the purchasing behavior of the particular person who is standing there, the offerings could be customized, the prices could be customized. You can target your clients who are loyal to you in a better way if you have the data. For collecting that data, we come into picture. Either we use like protocols like BLE, where in storefronts, whenever a person reaches near the storefront, or she will receive a message on her phone or his phone that okay, this offer is going on in this particular restaurant. So for that, we collect again the customer data. That's how data analytics happen, and valuable insights are provided to the client.
Okay. So, Shumansh, as a company working on business solutions using artificial intelligence and machine learning, what kind of technology and platform do you use to build solutions?
So my personal favorite is AWS. Like these people are very much helpful. If any noob or any newcomer wants to dive into the ecosystem, just talk to these guys, AWS, Nvidia, IBM, Oracle. These people, they provide you with a lot of resources free of cost if you are genuine enough to prove your concept. Like we received almost like $100,000 from Amazon to test our platform and build our own platform. So that if that support wouldn't have been there, I guess it would be very much difficult for us, because training these models, training these or processing these kind of videos usually require very high competition speed, very high competition resources are required. That is not feasible for us to deploy right now. So that's where it comes into picture, and like Azure is equivalent, but again you have like personal choices. That's a relative game.
Right. So, what other type of challenges do you normally face when you're working with business solutions like this? Like when you're developing and deploying your solutions, what kind of challenges do you normally face?
Like what I majorly feel is, like I previously also said, that there is lack of appetite in India for solutions like these, because we are not accustomed to machinery working, and we are not comfortable with that as much as Eastern countries are. So, like you talk about China, Taiwan, and all. So these people, they've grown themselves up until that extent, where government is also aiding them or helping them in establishing their businesses. Like we also get some support here. That I'm not denying it, but comparatively, like if we need to operate our drones, we have to go through DGCA licensing. We have to comply with NPNT, no permission, no takeoff. So all these technicalities is adding burden to us. We have to tell the authorities that what our route will be, and where we'll be dropping the package, which drone we are using, there would be a number plate on the drone. So there are a lot of compliances which are important, but to enforce that successfully, nothing's being done here. That's the pain point for us, I must say.
Right. So, recent times, AI and data analytics is gaining a lot of traction. So, how do you see the market for it, be it in India or in the global scale? How do you think the market for this will be in future?
Like there is very huge exponential rise in the requirements of the clients. So because they tasted this medicine of their own by shedding off employees and all, and now the case is totally overturned. So clients are not going now, implementing for these technologies to make themselves, at ease and collect data automatically. So basically, our purpose is to provide our clients with automation as well as business intelligence. So these two value adds are given by us, and we use different technologies for that. And if I talk about global prospects of deep technology, then it's huge. It's huge, very huge. Like there is a lot of quantum computing going on right now. That's a very, again, a buzzword right now. So IBM, I guess, has developed hard disk on, sorry, storage space on a single atom. So companies are going very wild. Amazon, they have patented a technology where they can store their goods underwater. Underwater warehouses have been started as a concept. They have got a patent for it. They might start it anytime soon. So that's what the market is at, and I think uh, there can be some shortcomings due to pandemic in India, but again, like, there is a lot of friction, in the conventional mindset of our clients. To change that is a major problem.
So, what is AOTA is currently working on? Like, what are your plans for the business?
So we want to build a end-to-end suite for B2B clients to whom we cater. So our clients, range from, right now we are only dealing in logistic industry, but we are planning to expand. So our system, we are developing as a universal system where we just tweak the system according to the requirements and deploy it as a separate instance for that client. So we basically want to build that kind of ecosystem where client's involvement and his investment, as in time on the site or the production area, is as minimum as possible, because everything could be monitored sitting anywhere in the globe. So that's what we're trying to do, that making this a next level thing. We want to implement 5G in our drones. I'm also planning to do something with Satcom. Like we nowadays, this is a new concept launched by Elon Musk. So probably that can be implemented, and we are testing out some new models as well. So those models basically are very much novel as of now, because very few companies are doing it from scratch. There are a lot of good companies, but nobody is starting from scratch. Everyone's using
Existing models.